Hello and welcome. As you probably guessed, I'm MotherAzure, but you can also call me Maria. I'm back again with another pico card, and this one's going to be about who is guiding you. Now, this is a little bit of a strange reading because I think this is the first time I'm going to do something like this. I was meant to do this reading last week, but I wasn't able to post because I was just very busy and I had also been sick. So I'm just going to do it this week. There was a little bit of a change of plans in terms of how I was going to do this reading. I will explain it real quick. You saw me peek these out in the beginning, shuffle in the beginning for these three. There are also two other pre-picked cards for each deck that I didn't shuffle on camera. I'm going to be shuffling the tarot on camera, but this is where the change of plans came in because I was going to use a different deck for each pile, but I just got this deck. I only used it for myself once, but every time I tried to grab another deck for this reading, for this video, this one would just pop back into my head. So we're going to be using this one. It's the Horror Tarot. It's a little bit bloody, let's say, because it is the Horror Tarot. It's not horrible. I have another one that's, in my opinion, is worse, but I'm just forewarning you. So basically, it's going to be who is guiding you. This can be a spirit guide that you have had for a long time that wants to come through, maybe a more recent spirit guide, or just another spirit that is currently guiding you. They don't have to be your permanent spirit guides. It can be just someone that is guiding you right now from let's say, the other realm, right? So whoever wants to come through, that's going to be it. You may not know who this is. So the majority of the focus for this reading is going to be who this is, maybe how they manifest, and if they do have a message for you, we're going to look into that as well, okay? So without further ado, let's get into your piles. For pile 1, you have the Dr. Seuss charm. I forgot what it's called. For pile 2, you have this female charm. And for pile 3, you have the elephant charm. Hello for pile 1 with the Dr. Seuss charm that is your reading. That has a name. I am not sure what it is right now. This came with a pen that says something about being able to do whatever you wanted to do. I don't know why that feels relevant to your reading. Maybe it is. So we're going to be looking into, I'm just going to lay out the, I'm going to put this away. I think this is going to be their main message to you. So I'm just going to put this way. These are the pre-picked oracles that I have. These are not exactly oracle cards. They're from the Angelarium collection cards, but I use them as an oracle. So these are I'm gonna use them to hopefully see who this is, and the tarot as well. Okay, so let me just get into this. So you have Hanael, Angel of Capricorn. This says, walking into the future from the past, we travel a perilous journey. Sometimes there are people in our lives that guide us, and sometimes we ourselves must be the guide. This sign represents the part of us that must carry the torch of responsibility and tradition. The long and lonely road that stretches before us must be walked, but it does not need to be walked alone. And your other card from this is Netza, Emanation of Victory. It says the right leg of Ein Sof. I suppose I'm saying that right. I apologize if I'm not. There's no reward without hardship, no strength without resistance. So that, like, right off the bat, I feel like the being, let's say, that is guiding you right now is one that is helping you along your journey. You may have been, I'm hearing specifically parentification, and what that means is that maybe from a young age, you kind of were forced to grow up too fast. You were forced to carry a lot of responsibility on your shoulders that you weren't developmentally ready to carry. You may have had to do tasks that you didn't feel emotionally, physically, or psychologically ready to complete, or at least attempt to complete. But this, the being, let's say the being, because it's not exactly a person. I keep trying to say person, but it's just no. It's a being. I'm not connecting with a human. Has been with you through these hardships. So this definitely feels like if these hardships are occurring right now, there's a being that maybe recently entered, let's say, your spiritual team, your support team, let's say on the other side, right? If this is something that has happened in your past with the parentification, like I mentioned, this is mostly a being that has been with you for a very long time, probably since childhood, okay? So let me see who this is. Who is the person that is guiding pile 1? There's just a lot of constant pressure on you. So like, but like that says, it doesn't mean that you have to walk the road alone. I feel like you may have felt very alone several times, obviously, maybe all the time, but they have been there and they're making their presence known, so you don't feel alone again. I'm feeling like, especially if this is something that is from your past, like if this extreme responsibility happened mostly in your past and it has only carried over as you have gotten older. So it's like you're still stuck in that energy. It's still affecting you, but it's like it's coming back somehow. So there's a current situation in your life, if this is from your past, a current situation in your life that is reminding you of this, and it has kind of sent you into a bit of a downward spiral, let's say. They haven't I was gonna say maybe this is a male energy. I have gotten no tarot. Like, I've been shuffling the whole time I've been talking. So this is most definitely a very protective sort of spirit. If I were to describe the energy, I would say like this would be the type of energy that I would associate with Saturn. Obviously Capricorn is here, but even also with this. But it's like a father figure, I was gonna say. So it's, for me, it feels like a father figure, but not one of the warm father figures. It's mostly a type of father figure that I would say is for guidance, that guides you and teaches you things instead of comfort. So that's not their main job. Their main job with you is not to comfort, it's to guide you and to put you on the right track specifically. So you have the 10 of Wands, yeah. So definitely what I said about you feeling all of this burden and this pressure, that is definitely coming through here. Now, this doesn't feel like a human being. And if it is like a spirit of a human being, it's very old. If you, like I said but I also say it doesn't feel human. But that doesn't mean, like, I know you've seen the 10 of Wands. Remember, this is a horror tarot, so it's a little bit, doesn't mean that it's a demon. It could be, you never know. But they, I feel like they work mostly in the background. So especially if you have been feeling this way your whole life, this is a being that hasn't been at the forefront, let's say. So they kind of make sure you're on track. They kind of pull the strings and guide you in a specific direction, but they do so from almost like the shadows, in the sense that they're not as loud. They're clear, but they're not obnoxious in the way that they do it. Does that make sense? So it's really like a father figure in a way. They're not gonna step in and do stuff for you. It's more like they put you where you're supposed to be and they let you handle it. So it's kind of like a quiet type of support. So who is guiding pile 1? And I really feel like they're reaching out right now because of the current circumstances in your life, regardless of whether you have felt like I described before in your life or not. They're here right now because of the current circumstances, and they are helping you. I'm seeing these white flowers, like a bunch of them. So white flowers might be a sign. It's not roses. It's another type of flower, but I can't tell what kind of flower that is. It's just white, so that may be a sign from them. I'm hearing maybe they're not orchids, but I'm also hearing orchids. So maybe orchids and other types of like white flowers. So you have the Knight of Swords, and it's a gargoyle. The Knight of Swords here, definitely like the type of traits that I associate with a gargoyle. Like, if you've ever, like, I don't know, it's that type of stoic energy. Like, if I think of a gargoyle and I try to associate it with certain traits or characteristics, it's like a stern father figure, literally a protector. Because that's the thing with the protector part. Gargoyles, if I'm not mistaken, they were put on like churches and those in the medieval times, if I'm not mistaken. That's when it happened. Because they were considered kind of guardians to the building that they were placed in. So they are definitely protecting you. Like, that's one of their main jobs as well. So they protect you. So who is guiding pile 1? This is the 9 of Wands. We got the 9 on the 10 of Wands. Okay. Yeah, no, they're definitely very protective, especially because I see the 9 of Wands. I can interpret it in many ways, but one of the ways that I interpret the 9 of Wands is this, it's the being exhausted almost at the 10 of Wands, but it's kind of like putting up your shield. So shielding yourself between the wands because you are hurt in some way or you're tired, but you're still trying to keep yourself protected. So I feel like this is reflecting you as well, in the sense that you feel vulnerable, and many of the times this happens, this specific being, this guide comes in, and I don't feel like they take the feeling away. It's more like I almost feel like they're showing me like someone maybe crying or feeling defeated. I'm seeing someone with kind of like their hands on their face, so kind of like covering their eyes, as almost as if they were crying. I don't think they are, and if they are, it's almost like after crying, but whatever, that doesn't matter. Hands on their face, kind of leaning down a little bit. So kind of maybe like you were resting your arms on your knees, right? And this person that I'm seeing, it's kind of like all of a sudden they raise their head and they just get up and go do something else. It's not that they don't think it's important for you to deal with your feelings, but it's more like sometimes you can fall into these holes. Let's call it a hole where you feel like you can't get out of this hole, right? And this emotional pain and despair because you feel trapped, you feel exhausted, and it's not that you aren't, and it doesn't mean that it's not the reality, but sometimes you can stay there like for longer, even though, let's say, you feel stuck, maybe you are stuck, but then you stay in this hole longer than you need to be, even if there are stairs right there for you to climb and get out. So it's kind of like you stay in this mentality even after the fact of whatever happened, and this guide kind of pulls you out of it. So if sometimes you feel this way, like you feel defeated and sad and whatever, and all of a sudden you feel like, okay, no, I need to get up and I need to do what I need to do. I need to stop feeling sorry for myself, or I need to step more into my power and do what I am able to do. That's kind of this guide stepping in with their energy. Okay, so I said this was gonna be like an extra message from them. Let's see if it's true, because I just decided to I was asking the same question while I was shuffling, which is just who is guiding like pile 1, the piles. So let's see. You got be bold and make the first move, cardinal moon. Yeah. So even though the exhaustion, I definitely see it here. They don't want you to give up. I'm hearing they don't want you to give up on your dreams specifically. But whatever your situation is, they don't want you to stop and just hold on, they're showing me something like sometimes they do this to me where they show me something, or they just kind of I like to say they inject a thought in my brain, and it's like I understand it, but I need to find the words to explain it. So it's almost like you're in a desert and you have been going on maybe for hours, days, trying to find water or whatever. But instead of continuing to walk and move forward in hopes of finding the water, the oasis, whatever you want to call it, whatever you're looking for, what I'm seeing is kind of like you laying back down and letting the sand wash over you. So what this is telling me, it's more like the main message that you are not powerless in your situation. You are only powerless in the situation if you believe that you are. And it's okay for you to feel defeated and tired and sad at times, but the thing is that I don't want you to stay in that mentality for too long, because you will start to believe that their circumstances are a result of your personal characteristics rather than a result of several factors that include your environment. That was like a whole fucking sentence that I don't know where it came from. I just kept going. So your situation was not entirely created by you. There are other factors that are causing it. But you are not powerless against these factors. But it's like, they don't want you to come to believe that this is happening because it is inherently your fault, or because there's something wrong with you, or because you created it. Because when you start to believe that, it starts happening as such. So it's kind of like a self-fulfilling prophecy. They don't want you to become that, okay? Because you are strong and you're meant to guide others as well with this angel of Capricorn. But that's also their main job. So I feel like you, a lot of your own characteristics, or the characteristics that you would like to have, this guide has them, and that's why they're helping you, okay? But definitely very masculine energy. I'm seeing specifically, if recently you have been, like, let's say you're in a room and you feel like you're seeing something in a corner, that's most likely them. I'm not feeling, so when I said they're kind of from the shadows, it feels like maybe they're kind of shadowy. Doesn't mean that they're evil, it's just how they look. Very gargoyle vibes. But I'm not seeing something super tall. I'm seeing like a regular sized kind of shadowy, smoky figure, right? Like that. They don't feel threatening at all. It's just like they're right there. And if you see that, it's most likely them, okay? They definitely want you to step into your power, though. And here's the thing that it's coming up with this 10 of Wands, this depiction of the 10 of Wands, is that... It's a 10 of Wands, right? Because I keep, like, looking because the letters are so tiny. The reason they're in your life as well, it's because they agreed to. So they're helping you. Some people believe this, and I believe it as well, because, like, why else? But sometimes we make, let's say before we come here, certain, let's say, contracts with spirits. And sometimes they come in at specific times in our lives. One of my guides, I received kind of like the message that they were coming in at that moment in my life, this new guy that I had never met, because they were supposed to come into that moment. And so it's kind of like a contract in a way. So they're helping you because they agreed to help you before. Okay. And they don't want you to forget who you are, whatever that means for you. So they have so many messages, oh my god. So it's kind of like, they don't want you to forget who you are. That means, like, in a spiritual sense, but also, let's say, from your past. Who you were in the past is important because that is who you authentically were before things changed. And it's important to recognize that that's who you are, but you are also the person right now after you've been through everything. So it's like, you were that person and you still are in some ways, but you have new knowledge and new experiences that may have changed you, but that is not necessarily bad. Okay, so instead of focusing on what people tell you you should be or what you believe you should be, it's to focus on who it is that you authentically are at your core right now. Okay, so they came in with so many, like, I'm still shook about the whole sentence. Okay, so is there anything else that I want to tell pile one? For some reason, I don't remember which element this is, which is embarrassing because I should know this. But I'm seeing the symbol of the element, that's the triangle, the upside down triangle with a line through it. So it's just a triangle, and then I forgot what element that is. That may be relevant for some whatever reason. And I also heard Mercury. So right now we're in a Mercury retrograde. So maybe what this guide is saying is that the reason the circumstances are similar to the past, if they were similar to the past at some point, or that everything seems to be piling up for you right now, is because this Mercury retrograde brought a lot of things that were unresolved to be dealt with, and you can deal with them. It's just that you can't keep going around carrying them forever. With Netza here, emanation of victory, because Netza carries a lot on its back. But there's no need for you to carry that forever. Forever. You don't need to carry all that anymore. You can deal with it. So this guide wants you to kind of deal with it. Be bold, make the first move, step into your power, and do this. But it has to do with the Mercury retrograde. And maybe even look at where Mercury is in your chart as well. Okay. So anything else? Oh, that's funny. They're showing me the scene from The Croods where what's his name? Guy from The Croods. He has this little coral thingy, and he blows it, so it kind of makes a sound like an alarm in a way. And then he shares it with the Croods, and they keep using it. So it's about teaching as well. So like it says here, I feel like you are learning and you're being guided right now, and you can help people later. You can teach people later and guide them. But you need to experience first, if that makes sense. Yeah. I just noticed. Yeah, okay. Really look into your career though. Maybe this relates to your career. But if in your career you feel like you should be doing something else, or you feel dissatisfied, try to see why that's the case. And if you feel dissatisfied, like you can't keep going in your career, it's okay to change it, okay? I don't know why that wanted to come up, but Capricorn just has to do with career, the 10th house. So maybe your Mercury is in your 10th house. If it is, let me know, because that was an interesting message. But yeah, that's all I have for you. Please like, comment, share, subscribe if you feel called to, because I do put out new videos every Sunday at 12 p.m. EST. Also, go ahead and follow me on Instagram if you want. I do all of my updates about the channel over there. And if you want to buy me a coffee, I have my Venmo and my Cash App in the description down below. It is never expected, but it is always very appreciated. I wish the best of luck on your journey, and much, much love to you. Bye-bye. Helt for pile 2 with this female charm, whatever it is you're reading. I have no idea what this charm is supposed to be. It's just a woman thing. I think it looks like a saint, but I'm not sure what it is. I just got it with a bunch of stuff. So let's get into your reading. The first thing that I'm feeling with your reading, without even looking at the cards, I started hearing, you know how Ursula from the Little Mermaid, when she steals the voice from Ariel and she comes up to the surface to kind of mess with Ariel and prevent her from like getting together with the prince, how she starts singing. I was hearing that, and I saw like the scene where the witch is kind of walking through the ocean with Ariel's voice, but then it turned into the actual scene where Ariel gets her voice back. So for you, this may be a female energy, obviously, because I have this here, but we'll see. But they are very concerned with you speaking your truth, and that may be one of the things that they help you with, or that they have been trying to help you with. I'm hearing specifically that you may have encountered you may have found yourself in certain situations recently where you were challenged, and it was kind of it wasn't a test, but it was almost like they wanted to give you an opportunity where you could have stood up for yourself. Whether you did or not, that's not the problem. It's just that they're giving you the opportunity because it's very important for you to not keep quiet anymore, whatever that means. So I'm going to put this away. This may be like their main message, at least that's how it worked for pile 1, but we'll see. So I'm going to look at these oracle. These are from the year 1 and year 2 collection cards of Angelarium. They're not actual oracle, but I use it as such. So I'm going to look into this first, and then I'll get into the shuffling. So you got Barkiel, Angel of Pisces, And I'm going to read this real quick. It says, when harm comes to the people, the relationships, and the things in our lives, we have to take time to repair them. It's not easy, but bringing those pieces back together is what we have to be. What? It's what we have to be to live a good life. Sorry, I got confused. In those moments, we are close to Barkiel. Deep down, everyone has a nurturing aspect. Choosing to cultivate it helps bring us closer to our true selves. Me getting stuck every time. Like, even without the Mercury retrograde, I get stuck. It's insane. Your other card is Hesed, emanation of empathy. It says the right hand of Ein Sof. I apologize if I'm saying that wrong. The embrace that brings all things together, a guiding light towards peace. So the energy of this guide is actually very different from Pile 1 in the sense that they feel much more gentle, much more feminine. Pisces is a feminine energy. So I'm not saying this guide is a woman or is feminine or presents itself as a woman. Is the energy that I'm feeling, very soft. I just fucking realized that the Barkiel here looks like a fucking mermaid. I mean, it is Pisces. It's underwater. This is why I wish sometimes that I didn't shuffle off camera, because I just want you to see it, but this won't focus. There we go. Come on. Focus. Oh, there it is. So see, it looks like a mermaid. Obviously, it's Pisces, but I found it interesting. That's the first thing I heard. Okay, so let's see who is guiding you. I feel like they're already coming out with messages and not actually telling me who this is. So, who's guiding Pile 2? Definitely very feminine in my opinion. Very soft energy. Well, for Pile 1, the guide was more of a male, I'm redirecting you, I'm guiding you, putting you where you're supposed to be energy. This guide is more of a nurturer type of energy. Okay, so let's see who is guiding. Those are too many cards. That is the Ace of Swords though, so they're going to reveal a truth to you. Is the Magician. Bruh. Okay. There are a lot of Mercury stuff coming up because the Magician is ruled by Mercury. So this guide, straight up, they help you with a lot of things. Even if their main job right now may be to nurture you a little bit, they do a little bit of everything. I felt something very interesting when I did like this with my hand. It almost felt like someone was grabbing my thumb, which is weird. Have you been having nausea lately? I don't know, like recently or like right now. I don't know why I felt like that had to do with nausea. Maybe you felt like puking, who knows. Chill. The hell out to say. But they do help with a lot of stuff. That was a weird feeling though. It was almost like I did like this and someone pulled my thumb back. It wasn't painful, but it was just weird. Okay. This is the Seven of Swords. Interesting. Let me get the third card to see what's going on here, because this is a very interesting energy that they're giving me. Who's guarding Pile 2? I will say 3 and 2 together. Maybe I want to watch Pile 3. The Devil. This is interesting. So, I'd still definitely feel the feminine energy here from these cards. I feel, even though these cards, I was asking for who this was, I feel like they may be describing your situation more than this card. I remember how I saw the Ace of Swords and I was like, they're gonna reveal the truth to you. The truth may be quite painful. I'm actually seeing lapis lazuli right now in my head, and that's a crystal. I don't know much about crystals, but I know that one. I saw someone use it in like a truth spell, and that was actually the Witch of Wanderlust. But I've seen the association of it with protection, one of the things, but the other one has to do with like truth and like, I assume also throat chakra because I just touched it, not even thinking about it. For some reason, I'm seeing that. But the thing with this is that it's painful. So there's a lot for you emotionally right now. So this is more internal. So they're talking to me about something that is emotional for you in nature. It feels internal instead of external. So this doesn't feel like an issue that was caused or even influenced by outside factors. Maybe you just kind of woke up one day and you just felt like shit and you kind of don't know how to deal with it, so you have been kind of putting it away. I'm literally seeing the meme that a meme that's like, let's schedule that emotion for later, and then you kind of bottle it up and it just ruptured when you least expected it. And for some reason they're mentioning that to me as if it's very important right now. I'm hearing for you not to fall back into old patterns. So for many of you, these may be addictions. Now, addictions don't only have to be like alcohol related, drug related. There can be addictions to toxic people, to food, to certain types of food, like food that is bad for us, basically. Can be an addiction to, let's say, social media or video games or just watching TV and not doing anything else. There are many things. Anything in excess can become addictive, right? But especially something if it's something that you're using to escape your emotions, and they don't want you to fall back into that. This may be a pattern. No, I don't like that they're mentioning that to me. So, trigger warning. I'm going to mention eating disorders. So because they just showed me, this is heavy. Sorry. They kind of gave me this sense of a binge eating disorder where you go into these binges. For some of you, this is most likely not for most of you, and then you purge, right? I'm trying to be very careful with the words that I'm using, and then you kind of go back to normal, but it happens when you're most stressed. Okay, I just have to mention it because it did come up, and I apologize. But I have to mention it. So for some reason, this is coming up. And this guide is very concerned with this. So they're trying to help you out of it. But you need to let them help you, because what I'm feeling here is that they're kind of, it feels like how this figure in the Seven of Swords it is kind of like leaning down, trying to like hold the swords and that they're falling, or I don't know what it's doing, and that's what it looks like it's doing. I'm not even sure. Yeah, it's holding them. They're trying to carry them. It's like you're so focused on this, on the inside, on what's going on in here, that you don't really see that this, you don't really feel the presence of this guide fully. It's kind of like they're hovering over you, but it's more like, not that they're literally doing that. It's more like they're out of your point of view, because if you're leaning down, focusing on the swords, you can't see what's above you. So it's kind of saying that there's like they're there and they're trying to get your attention, but you're not really paying attention to them because you're going through a lot of emotional turmoil. That's the word that I'm looking for. I want to look at this though. Work through your fears, New Moon in Scorpio. Yeah, it was very, very much very emotional, and it has to do with the devil as well, because the devil has to do with fears, obviously with obsessions, and also with negative patterns, like I mentioned, all of that. So and not only through your fears, they want you to work through this, and they don't want you to give up on yourself or believe that you're a failure. And if you, let's say that you fail your goal, whatever it is, one time, it doesn't mean that you are a failure. It means that you failed once and that's it, and you can do better next time. Or you can take this moment of failure as a learning experience, as a learning moment, right? And see where you could do better next time. So it's kind of like they're showing me that like your healing journey is not supposed to be a straight line, obviously. There are higher points and there are lower points. I feel like right now you're at one of your lower points. I'm almost hearing I'm used to it. So it's kind of like you're kind of dismissive of it, but no, it's important that you acknowledge these, because if you keep pushing them down, you're going to crash, basically. But can you tell me who you are, though? Because I feel like you haven't even told me who you are. You keep just trying to get the message across to pile 2, which makes sense if they have been trying to get your attention for a long time. And you simply haven't felt it. Don't blame yourself for that. It makes sense if you are focusing on something else. But it's almost like they wanted to get the message first. And then be like, oh, okay. So can you tell me who you are, though? The Page of Wands. The Page of Wands in this deck is a female. Oh, and there's a little spider up here. Oh, there's something behind it. And the 7 of Cups. I got the 9 of Swords here as well, which is the fear. I just looked at it. So they're really talking about that. The spiders may be very significant for you. Because there's a spider right there. There's a spider right here. Let me bring it closer because it's kind of hard for me to see it. Yeah. They do help you through your fears, most definitely, because you do have the work through your fears. The devil that's right here. We saw the 9 of Swords. It's kind of like they're giving you like a warm embrace like Hesed right here. So they likely try to encompass you in their energy so you don't fall back, or just to give you a little bit more encouragement. They are trying to reach you more directly. You may be feeling quite obviously confused as to what you're supposed to be doing, or like how you're even supposed to move forward, because maybe you had, like I said, one idea in your mind and be like, this is not going to happen again. But then it happened. And now you don't know what to do. You don't know what to do with yourself. I just picked up one card from here, and it's the Ace of Swords as well. It's the one that I saw. So this is the Ace. The truth. Wow. So they're trying to tell you directly. And with the Page of Wands right here, this energy that they're giving me, again, it does feel very feminine. It feels actually also young. And when I say young, I don't mean that this is like a young spirit or like a young person. It feels mostly like, if I were to compare it to a type of energy, just so you would have an idea, for me, it feels like how your best friend feels in, like, when you're a high school teenager. So it's kind of like that lively energy, and like a supportive energy, but not in a parental way, even though they're nurturing. It feels more like a friendly way, if that makes sense. So I'm trying to see who this is. So this spirit feels more human. So for many of you, this may be like an actual human spirit, so someone that's passed over. Doesn't mean that maybe you don't know them. So I just want to clarify this. This doesn't have to be someone that you knew in real life. They may not even be actually related to you. There's just a spirit that is helping you. Maybe due to a contract, or they just decided to. I don't fucking know how it works. Honestly, sometimes they help you and I'm like, what? Why? I don't know. I'm seeing bells. So maybe if you hear bells around a lot, this is a sign of this guide as well. I'm feeling like they leave you like little trinkets here and there. So these may be coins. They may be nails, like metal nails, not like nails. Maybe little charms that you find here and there, or for some of you, I'm even seeing it looks like a fortune cookie, but not like you actually buying the fortune cookie. Maybe you sit somewhere and there's like a fortune cookie that's open, or like a little paper from a fortune cookie that is just there and you happen to see it. So they do kind of little stuff like that, because I don't feel, like I said, that they can communicate with you directly. So they kind of either try to use your environment, or they do what they're doing right now, which is trying to get the message across first and foremost, right? So when you watch the readings, so if there's a feminine energy that has been coming up for you a lot in recent readings, this is the energy. This is the guide. I don't feel like they have actually shown themselves to you at any point. It definitely, I don't know why I have that feeling that it's like they're above you. So maybe like if I were to describe it again in terms of a feeling, you know how kids say that they have like a guardian angel or whatever. I don't know, it feels like that. But it's like they're hovering above. It's not like they are, maybe they're actually not human, but maybe like and if not, maybe okay, never mind. It's definitely more human energy, but like I said, this may be someone that's passed on. And that's why I feel like they're above. So it's kind of like they are, if this is someone you think you know, it's not they're restless and wandering about. They are in the afterlife, but they can, let's say, calm down and be with you to help you out. So it's not like they're stuck in this plane at any point. They are where they're supposed to be. They just choose to come to help you. I actually don't feel like they're around all the time. They come in when you are technically at your worst. When you need the extra comfort, that's when they come in and try to kind of embrace you and fill you in with their energy. Okay, so they want you to work through this, whatever it is, even if it makes you afraid. Even if you don't know how to keep moving forward, you find a way. They don't want you to give up, like I said. They're actually showing me this clip from a cartoon that I literally saw on Twitter. I don't know why they showed me so many stuff like that, but I assume it's just to make me understand better. Where the kid tells his grandpa, like, "Grandpa, what are my, when you can't do nothing and there's nothing you can do," or something like that. What am I supposed to do? Like, what do I do when I feel I can't do anything, right? That was basically the question. It was just hard to understand it in that moment. And the grandpa's answer was, "You do what you can," which is ironic because basically you're saying that you don't know what you're supposed to do, but the grandpa's answer, it basically means you just do what you can do. You just don't give up. Maybe you find another way. Maybe you leave it for a bit and then come back to it. The point is not giving up on yourself. Okay, that's what's most important here for you. And there's obviously a lot of water energy here, but maybe I think they're showing me water right now because taking a spiritual bath may be good for you. Now, a spiritual bath, you literally don't have to buy anything. I don't care. You can literally just use water and ask to be cleansed with the water. If you want to add like ingredients to help out, you can do that. You can use like some flowers. Like, I know, like, I'm Cuban, so I've been to Balaos and stuff like that, and sometimes tell you to take a shower with like perfume and white flour, so you can do that. You can use other herbs like basil. Please check that anything that you're going to put in your bath is skin safe. Please. Thank you. I don't want you to hurt yourself. You can use bath salts. Actually, salt is good for protection. So maybe you need something like that to cleanse you out. And while you're doing that, maybe you will get like an answer as to what it is that you're supposed to do or where you're supposed to be going. Or you maybe will simply feel renewed to keep moving forward with this. The point is, take a break, but don't give up. That's basically the message that this guide has. I'm also getting the feeling like I said, like they are not there with you 24/7. They kind of come when they're supposed to. It almost feels like right now they have to go for whatever reason, and they'll pop back in later. They're not your only guide. There are other guides, but I don't know why I got that feeling. And it's like, okay, I have to leave for a little bit and then I'll come back. Maybe because you're actually coming out of this as I'm literally talking to you. They're like, okay, I can go back. They can deal with this. I know that they can do this by themselves. I don't need to stick around for this bit, right? So it kind of feels like that. They're very encouraging in their energy, even though the cards down here are a little bit scary. It feels like they're very encouraging and they really do want you to succeed in what it is that you are doing. Okay. So that's all I have for you. Please like, comment, share, subscribe if you feel called to, because I do put out new videos every Sunday at 12 p.m. EST. Also go ahead and follow me on Instagram if you want. I do love my other stuff at the channel over there. And if you want to buy me a coffee, I have my Venmo and my Cash App in the description down below. It is never expected, but it is always very appreciated. I wish you the best of luck on your journey and much, much love to you. Bye-bye. Hello, pile 3 with the elephant charm. This is your reading. So let's see who is guiding you right off the bat. Before I start, the fact that like you saw me like in the beginning with the charms, that these are the ones that came out when I moved around the shell. Every time I see this charm, it reminds me of my ancestors. So this may be an ancestor for you that is currently guiding you. Okay. Also, when I started your pile, I got like suddenly very sleepy. I don't usually get sleepy during my piles, even if I'm like severely sleep deprived, because of the energy it's a lot. So I just get hyper. It doesn't usually happen that I'm tired. So they may come around where you're asleep and try to communicate with you through dreams, or they simply help you fall asleep. If you do have issues falling asleep, they kind of help you. So if you need help, ask them. I don't know how you're gonna do that because I don't think I can get you a name, but we'll see. So I'm gonna put this away. This is gonna be most likely their main message, so I'm gonna look at that last. These are the pre-picked cards. Let's see what you got here. So you got Rahab, Angel of the Deep. Rahab ferried the bodies of the dead into the sea. His promise to mankind was to bring them to a place where they would be never disturbed. They prayed that the abyss would give the dead peace. No one could know for sure except the Grim Watcher. The passage into darkness was a place of no return. It was his home and his alone. That's its nature. Interesting. These are supposed to describe who this is, so we'll see in a second. You got Netza as well. This is the same card Group 1 got, so if you want to watch that one, if you feel called to it, go ahead and watch it. This is the emanation of victory. It says, Netza is brilliant and withstanding. Netza is trial and the exaltation of endurance. Beneath this stone I am glory, tension and suffering pushing me down and burying my face in the muck. But even then I am sweet fire ablaze the torch, burning in the abstractions between agony and patience. A mantra of Netza. Interesting. So let's see who this is. So like similar to pile 1, I feel like this guide, they interesting. Not similar to pile 1, because what I'm seeing with Netza, they just showed me what's it called, these people, like the runners in the Olympics, that they run like in circles. I forgot what it's called. It's like a certain amount of like distance. I don't remember what it is, but whatever. So they're showing me that. And they're running. So definitely the endurance thing here, the emanation of victory. I don't know why they showed me that. It looks similar to this, like in the pose. So I feel like they're helping you specifically with this endurance, but it's like for you to get to a goal. So they're helping you right now to achieve a specific goal that you have set for yourself, okay? So, but let's see who this is. They, you may actually feel their presence a lot, like I said, when you're asleep or when you're about to fall asleep, or just when you are quiet. That's when you feel them the most. Maybe like you're actually like reading a book, or you are just sitting somewhere not really doing anything, and suddenly you feel like a presence. That's this guide. So even though they're helping you get somewhere, they like to be around the most when there is nothing hectic going on. Doesn't mean that they're not around at other times. They kind of prefer that. So those are 2 cards. I just wanted to get one. This is the 10 of Swords and the 6 of Swords. A lot of Swords energy here. So, interesting. You know the message that I'm getting here? This guide may have been, at some point, a human soul. And they kind of ascended in some way. I don't know why I'm getting that. So this may be an ascended master. If they're not an ascended master, this is simply like a human spirit that was enlightened in some way. They learned a lot, maybe, and they kind of got, let's say, promoted to being an actual spirit guide. Interesting. I have no idea why that's coming through, because like with the 10 of Swords and the 6 of Swords, the way it's being represented here, it's kind of making me think of the afterlife, but they have a job. Because with the 6 of Swords here, it's reminding me of, I think, Charon. Is it Charon from Greek mythology? That's like the one that carries souls to Hades, right? Weird. Like, maybe this has to do for you with that. So it may be like an ancestral spirit for some of you, but for others of you it's this. Or maybe they still are an ancestral spirit, they're just more enlightened than most. Let's say that. Okay, so who is this? Who's guiding pile 3? It's weird that they made me use this deck for this reading. I don't know why, but you know what? Fine. Queen of Swords. So many swords. Okay. Alright, so you know what? Like, with the swords, this feels more masculine in essence. The swords are related to, at least I relate them to masculine aspects. This obviously has to do a lot with the mind because they're swords, they're also communication. This guide is very neutral in energy. So they're not extremely benevolent, but they're not also extremely malevolent. They're just neutral. Like they're just being, if that makes sense. Maybe that's why I keep getting that they're enlightened in some way. So they don't really fit either extreme. They have a lot of wisdom to offer, and that's obviously why they're guiding you, but they're getting you somewhere. I'm definitely feeling that, especially with the 6 of Swords. They're trying to get you somewhere. There's a lot of these 3 cards, they all have to do with water in some way, but specifically with the 6 of Swords, it's moving to another place. The 6 of Swords, it's literally a boat moving away from something, as it is being represented here. So I feel like they're getting you somewhere. It's an upgrade in a way. Maybe that's why I'm seeing like the running tracks. And for some reason when I saw the running tracks, I didn't see. It's almost like I was looking, like spanning with a camera to, you know, see the person that's running, but I never got to see the person that's running. I feel like maybe you got let's say lost at some point, and they're trying to actually get you to the correct running track. So there's a message here that if things are not working out for you, it's not because you're doing something wrong. It's because either you're running in the wrong direction or just in the wrong track entirely. I have no idea exactly how that applies to your life. Take it as it resonates, but it's interesting because they're saying, what this guide is saying is like, there's this song by Shakira. It's in Spanish, so I don't know how I'm even gonna like communicate this to you. But there's a part of the song where she says something along the lines of, I can't ask the eternal from a mortal, or it's like, no, you can't ask someone to give you something that they are not equipped to give you to begin with, and you can't get something from a situation that is not designed to give you that result. It's almost like planting an apple tree and expecting to get mangoes from it. That's basically what they're saying. That it's not exactly that you did something wrong. It's like it's the wrong place to be asking for or to gain or achieve what it is that you want to what it is that you want, right? That's an interesting message. So who is this though? Because I the main like thing here is who this is. There's literally nothing here that is showing me how they might even look like. So here, this angel here has their face covered. I can't see the face. The hair is on the face. There's no face here. This face is covered. Even though there's a woman here, I don't feel like this is representing your guide. I feel like the guide is represented by the hands behind the woman. So I feel like this guide, similar to pile 1, they kind of work behind the scenes. They redirect you as necessary, but they don't exactly they intervene when they need to, but it's like they want you to achieve things by yourself, because if you don't achieve them by yourself, you're going to feel inadequate. Interesting. So they are willing to guide you, and even though they could literally do many things for you in the sense of that they could facilitate certain things, they don't want to do that because you are going to feel like an imposter, basically. So this, what it is that you want to gain, that you are running on these tracks for, you're going to get it, because I have the emanation of victory here. But they're saying to actually reassess the situation, because the reason it's not working out the way you want it to is because you're not in the right place to begin with. So yeah, literally the best way I could describe it is what I said, like planting an apple tree and expecting mangoes. So or maybe going to a liquor store and wanting to find baby milk. That's kind of how it feels. So it's kind of like maybe you don't realize that you are not in the correct place for what it is that you're looking for. This may be also referring to a person, because I need to acknowledge that sometimes we ask certain things from people that are unable to give that to us. So kind of like maybe wanting a relationship from someone that is clearly not ready to commit. And the problem is not you, is the fact that you are asking it or looking for it in a place where it doesn't exist. That's holy shit. So what do I have here? Take time to breathe out, disseminating moon. Yeah. So the message they have here for you is that as well, because you have been running on these train tracks for so long, again, because I don't feel like you actually ever have gotten to the finish line. That's why it gets so frustrating, and they're like, yeah, you're running where you're not supposed to. You need to take a break. And I see that especially with the 10 of Swords here, even though these are supposed to be describing the guide, this can also describe you. And you need to take time to rest, because you have been running for so long that I was going to say you're going to collapse, but they interrupted me with something else. So they're kind of saying, what I'm kind of seeing is someone pulling back, literally breathing, and then moving to the right, just going elsewhere to the right. So, and they don't want you to feel like this is giving up on the situation. It's more like recognizing that it's not worth it, right? And moving elsewhere and actually getting what it is that you want elsewhere. Okay. So this guide speaks to you a lot through, I don't know why I'm feeling music. But like I said, they also like come in when you are asleep, especially like if you wake up with a song in your head and you're like, what the fuck? Where did that come from? Look it up, because it's them. Yeah. They give you clues as well. So there's this, you can ask them for this as well, I'm hearing, if this has not already been established. You can ask them for a specific sign that they can show you when you are on the right track literally the racing track, when you're literally on the right track. So you can ask them for something specific, something that you wouldn't see every day, so that when you see it, you know that it's them being like, yo, you're in the right place. So if you can set that up with them, that would be great. If you can't come up with something, you can ask them to show you what it is that they're going to give you as a sign through a dream. Okay? But this spirit is very wise, very intelligent, and they do hold a lot of knowledge. So I feel like in a way, they have a lot to teach you. And this is not... they're not gonna come and go. I feel like it's likely that they have been with you for a long time, and they will continue to be with you for a long time, if not forever. Because it feels like they have a list. Like, they need to learn this. Oh, they learned it. Check. Let's go to the next one. So it's kind of like they have like a list of things that they need to help you with. They're very busy. But they're willing to help you, and also more than happy to help you. If I'm feeling like they're showing me the King of Pentacles card from the Forest of Enchantment Tarot, and the King of Pentacles is this very jolly looking man with like black hair, a black beard, kind of curly haired, and he's like smiling really wide. That's the energy that I'm getting from this. Because like looking at the cards, it's like, oh, that looks really cryptic, but no, like their energy is actually very reminds me a little bit of the Ghost of Present Christmas and like A Christmas Carol. I don't know why that kind of look, it feels like that. I'm not saying that the spirit looks like that, it's just the energy that they're giving me, and that's the closest thing I can equate it to. But it's very interesting. They're very, very wise. They're big. And when I say they're big, I don't mean like, well, it could mean like physically big, or that they were physically big. But it's more like they have a lot of energy. I don't know why it feels like that. I almost get the sense that, let's say that you go to a place and this spirit guide is with you at that moment, and let's say that you come into a space and other spirit guys literally look at him like, what the fuck, that's big. So if I don't know if it's like physically bigger, it's just that the energy that he has is so huge, and then it's like, it's weird. I don't know why that's coming through. I've never gotten that message before, like, oh my god, that's big. Like, who, what is that? I don't know if that has happened to you before, if you have seen this guide before, or maybe a medium that you have consulted has seen this guide before and be like, holy shit. I don't know why I'm feeling that. It's kind of funny, low-key. Okay, so is there anything else you want to tell Bio 3? See, I keep yawning through your reading. I'm like, you know what? Maybe you should sleep too. I do, but like, maybe you should sleep. And they're like, go to bed, alright? So, holy moly, alright. I felt something specific if my friend picked this file. I know who this is. If this is you, let me know. Alright, so that's all I have for you. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe if you feel called to, because I do put out new videos every Sunday at 12 p.m. EST. Also, go ahead and follow me on Instagram if you want. I do all my other stuff about the channel over there. And if you want to buy me a coffee, I have my Venmo and my Cash App in the description down below. It is never expected, but it is always very appreciated. I wish you the best of luck on your journey, and much, much love to you. Bye-bye.